Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Tashon and I'm a JS and remote science professional at Injibara University. In today's lesson, we will explore the key concepts, techniques and practical application of data visualization with a particular focus on JS and spatial data. So now, before we are going to define the concept of data visualization, we have 4 learning objectives that we are going to address today. The first one is define the concept of data visualization. The second, understand the principle of cartographic design. The third, identify map elements and composition. And the fourth objective, understand mapping quantitative and qualitative data. And having this, now we are going to proceed on the concept of data visualization. As you know that data visualization, also termed information visualization or information design, that refers to the methodologies, tools, and mode of representation involved in the process of visually communicating data to the others. Therefore, data can be communicated in many ways. The first one is ranging from a simple table of numbers. The second, data can be communicated to a complex and highly sophisticated charts. And we can also communicate the data using interactive graphs and maps. Because of maps are a compact and elegant methods of communicating information that display the spatial and non-spatial data. Because of JS are a dynamic, allowing the user to make maps, explore, inquire, and analyze geographic locations. And therefore, the output of JS is presented in the form of maps. And having the concept of data visualization, now we are going to proceed on the second objective is entitled on principle of cartographic design. As you know that there are several types of cartographic design, but here we are going to define 4 types of cartographic design. The first one is the use of color. The primary function of color is to make the information on a map visually distinguishable. The second, use of text. Descriptive text is used to give a map its title, to explain the latent and to label features on the map. The third cartography design is that symbolizing. JS software packages usually support the users with predefined symbol sets that can be edited and customized. It used to represent features as a symbol, not as their true scales. We can symbolizing features choosing the appropriate or correct symbols for the data. This depends on the scale of the map. For instance, cities are represented as a point or dots on the world maps, roads as a line. The fourth cartographic design, classification. Classification is one of the major important cartographic design that used to regroup objects based on their similarities, and this facilitates data visualization. And having cartographic design, now we are going to proceed on cartographic map composition. As you know that the concept of cartography is both science and an art. Therefore, subjectivity and creativity plays an important role in aesthetic quality of the maps. For instance, in order to create the map layout, geographic content, and label of placement, this cartographic is as a science or an art. And having this element to be included are governed by map themes, map coverage, map scale are very crucial for map compositions in order to understand what says the map about. The other topic here, elements of maps. As you know that when we are going to prepare different type of maps, we should incorporate these elements. The first one is the title, north arrow, coordinates, grid and border, scale, legend, projection info, production details, outer, neat line, and so on. This type of or this all elements should be incorporated on the final layout of the maps, because of the readers or the audience simply understand about the map what it says, or we can communicate the maps or the data with the audience simply using those elements. As you know that these graphical images or these maps represents about map of our zone. You know that there is the name of the map that are written on the heading of the maps, and simply this maps communicates with the readers using map elements. Now we are going to proceed on mapping qualitative and quantitative data using GIS softwares. And having this, what I mean by mapping qualitative data? Maps are very effective ways of summarizing and communicating the result of GIS operations, as you know. Qualitative data shows the difference in kinds. For instance, forest versus urban land uses or land covers. This shows the spatial distribution or location of a set of classes. For instance, the type of land use, the type of soils, languages, geologies, and other qualitative data types are existed. As you know that this map shows about land use land cover class of our zone in 2021. This map indicates about land use map of our zone. The K or the legend indicates or shows land use land cover classification of our zone. So this map represents about how we are going to understand about the qualitative data. On the other hand, we can also mapping quantitative data using GIS softwares. It shows the difference in quantities characteristics in the form of a spatial aspect of numerical data. That means mapping quantitative data requires a classification of attribute values of features in the form of amounts or quantities. For example, if you want to map crop yield, per capita income, population densities, and other type of maps are undergoes quantitative data. Thank you for being so attentive. If you have any question or any clarification regarding to my presentation, just welcome and contact me via email address.